only 148 votes separate the two candidates running for Attorney General. Democrat Chris Mays and Republican opponent Abe Hamadeh. Mays is leading. This race is likely headed to a recount if the difference between both candidates remains at less than half a percentage point. You can see all the results of the midterm election at KTAR.com/Arizona votes. And after a law passed this year increased the threshold to trigger an automatic recount to half a percentage point, Arizona could have not one but two this election. KTAR's Luke Forstner's live in the news center with more.
Jeff, recounts serve an important function, but research director Deb Otis with Fair Vote, a nonprofit that studies election practices, says they're very uncommon.
Overall, statewide recounts are rare. In our research, we found 35 statewide recounts over 2 decades.
And in those 35 recounts, she says only 3 led to different results. Still, she adds human review can catch some things machines may not.
The most likely outcome and what voters should expect to see is a small change in the vote total for each candidate.
Live in the news center, Luke Forstner, KTAR News.
Carrie Lake has broken her silence since losing her race for governor, and it's not a concession.
The former TV news anchor posted a video to Twitter saying she's assembling a legal team.
I'm doing everything in my power to right these wrongs. My resolve to fight for you is higher than ever.
Lake claims voters were, quote, disenfranchised. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors explains tabulation machines were unable to read ballots due to printer issues, and an Arizona judge ruled not to keep polls open later because voters were still able to submit their ballots even if tabulation machines were down. Taylor Kinnerup, KTAR News.
One newly elected Democrat has some harsh words for candidates who deny election results.
Secretary of State-elect Adrian Fontes was direct toward election deniers.
This is an authoritarian movement that is soundly rejected by Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike.
And he tells MSNBC,
there's a lot more of us than there are of them, and we need to stop using kid gloves and worrying about their feelings. We need to be very, very vigilant and continue to protect our democracy.
Fontes added concession is an important part of the democratic process, which his defeated opponent, Mark Fincham, has not yet done. Bound Overstolz, KTAR News.
The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors took public comments yesterday, many of which focused on election integrity in the 2020 election. KTAR's Brandon King has more on what county citizens had to say.
Yeah, Jeff, candidate for Arizona Treasurer Martin Quezada was understanding of election procedures both this year and in 2020.
It is popular to challenge the results when you don't like the outcomes, but I'm still confident that you've done your jobs well.
Other speakers like Matt Baker decried what they saw as obvious corruption.
You are the cancer that is tearing this nation apart!
Board member Steve Gallardo acknowledged the need for change, but reiterated Arizona election systems are, quote, safe, secure, and accurate, end quote. Brandon King, KTAR News.
We now know who will be leading public schools in Arizona come January.
Incumbent Superintendent of Public Instruction Kathy Hoffman has conceded in her race against Republican Tom Horn.
Yay.
He will now become the new superintendent, a role he held from 2003 to 2011. As of this morning, Horn is up just 8,700 votes. In a statement posted on social media, Hoffman says serving the role was, quote, among the greatest honors of my life, end quote. Nick Sadowski, KTAR News.
It'll be a divided Congress in January, with Republicans projected to gain control of the U.S. House. Here in Arizona, a different picture.
It looks like Republicans will have a 1-seat edge in each chamber of the Arizona legislature. And with Democrat Katie Hobbs as our new governor, GOP lawmakers will have to work with her to get bills signed into law.
They're going to have to compromise. They're going to have to speak to her about the bills they plan to run and take input and counsel on those
Translation, absolutely nothing will get done.
With Copper State Consulting, Republicans have controlled both the House and Senate in Arizona every session but one since 1993. Grisel Dosatino, KTAR News.
Arizona's immigration crisis.
New border numbers show the immigration crisis at Arizona's southern border isn't slowing down.
Border agents came into contact with more than 49,000 migrants in October.
Why are you
That
beeping
compared to the previous year's 41.
Whoopsie.
We'll have that report from Taylor coming up in just a few minutes. Up next, a heartbreaking update on Mercury star Brittany Griner. That's next. But first,
did she get some penis at her penal colony?
Check the traffic as we go live to the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. Here's Detour Dan Beach. Thank you, sir. Biggest item still that crash on the I-10 westbound, just west of the.
Oh yeah, I looked at the traffic view. There's wrecks all over.
2 right lanes blocked on the main line, but it also has the southbound to westbound portion of the interchange.
So it's Thursday, November 17th, 2022, 5:08 p.m.
To try to do so. You've also got a wreck in the downtown.
I did not want to be up this early, but
and
I don't
westbound,
know.
I-10 at the 60, a wreck off left. Northbound, 202.
Not a whole lot earlier than I set my alarms for. I didn't get much sleep. I had trouble going to sleep.
27 minutes in ride time
mostly because I slept in so late last night.
Northbound 51, 13 minutes from the I-10 mini stack northbound up to Bell Road, and westbound 101, 20 minutes in ride time from Bell Road westbound up to 75th Avenue.
There's 3/10 in the little park there on 40th Street.
Sold. 72 Sold is the easiest, fastest, most profitable way to sell your home. Go to 72sold.com to get a higher price.
So I got woke up by my daughter Allison letting me know that she totaled her car and is in the hospital. That's fabulous. Oh look, there goes a Tesla. So I didn't really get much in the way of details from her. I was about half asleep on the phone. Hell, I'm like half asleep behind the wheel right now. Oh, what's up with Brittany?
Lawyers say she's been transferred to a work colony for prisoners. She's doing as well as could be expected and is trying to stay strong as she adapts to a new environment. Experts say the conditions inside the Mordovia work colony are known to be harsh, with rotten food, extreme isolation, and tough wardens. Reiner is serving a 9-year prison sentence after losing her appeal. The Biden administration continues to say...
So basically what Maricopa County Jail was like back when weed was illegal here. Imagine that.
And defaults if the courts want President Biden's debt relief order.
After a federal judge blocked the president's student debt relief plan, his education department...
Although to be fair, I thoroughly enjoyed working at the food factory when I was in the Maricopa County Jail. And living in Tent City. I've enjoyed Tent City. I'm weird like that.
The education department saying that in the past, loan defaults jumped as high as 20 times normal following natural disasters.
That's ABC's Andy Field.
In fact, I feel like I was generally happier then than I am now. Go figure. So, I probably should be going directly to the hospital to pick up my daughter, but this morning, after I'd been home for a couple hours, I did go on a bit of a journey. I mentioned in my last vlog that I got a push-through text message from, a push-through message from one of my banking apps. And looking at that after I got home, checking my online banking, my business account was down to like, wow, look at all these kids on bicycles. These adults on bicycles. Interesting. Wow. And of course Allison lost her bicycle. She's gonna need one now, or have to learn how to ride the bus. Interesting to see how this works out. I just hope she doesn't do anything stupid like try to steal my car. Oh God, where was I? My bank account was down to a balance of like $7. And I only had a whopping like $40 on me, so my plan was deposit that in my bank account, go to Circle K, get my Sip and Save drink. Oh gosh, what else was I gonna do? I'm so groggy right now. I was also gonna drop off my recycling. Anyway, I was gonna go to the bank first and then go to Circle K, and for whatever reason, probably just me being tired, I went to Circle K first. And when I was on my Chase banking app, there was like a special offer from Circle K that if I paid for Circle K, if I clicked the thing in the app to activate it, I would get cash back from Circle K. on purchases at Circle K made with my business debit card. Up to $1.50, so it's not like a great bonus or anything, but yeah, okay. $1.50 at Circle K is $1.50 at Circle K.
Toxic got Britney her first Grammy for Best Dance Recording. It really landed her some bonus points with her critics.
Kind of a
She's one
jam.
of the best-selling female artists ever, and she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You know, I think
on this day,
Toxic,
in 2003.
you know, a bigger deal on in this day is 40 years ago, Michael Jackson's Thriller was released. But anyway, speaking of Toxic, I think that's actually a Kathy Dennis song. I think Kathy Dennis, like, originally, I think she wrote it. I could be wrong, so fact check me, but memory serves, Toxic was written by Kathy Dennis, and Kathy Dennis recorded it. I forget exactly how it went about getting not released by Kathy Dennis and passed on to Britney Spears, but kind of wonder how that would have all panned out if Kathy Dennis would have released the song and had like a big comeback as a result of the song. Or would the song have just been ignored because it was Kathy Dennis and not Britney Spears? It's hard to say. But I've heard the Kathy Dennis version and it sounds just about identical. Anyway, I'll explain why I'm here and what I did this morning as soon as I get back. All right, it's 5:18. Oh God, Allison just called me being fucking impatient. I'm trying to empty the recycling out of the car. Grr. Almost didn't even answer the phone. Like, it's up in the holder, so I managed to answer it and get it on speaker, but oh God, awkward and annoying. I really don't like dealing with phone calls. What the fuck is going on here? What the hell? Wow. There's somebody sitting in the car. Yeah, that is not. Pull forward, you fucking idiot. You're blocking the driveway.
Because you're like, who, what? I don't even care. And you moved on. You didn't vote for the judges. You probably didn't vote for a lot of the props. You just kind of moved on through. Well, now those people are out there and they're like, man, I could have really made a difference because one vote can. I think there's a town right now that there was a tie, like Johnson City or somewhere like that. You're like, what? Yeah. So if we have a tie, by the way, Bruce brought it up. If we do have a tie, it goes to poker potentially.
So I just did the math.
Okay.
But it took me that long, by the way, with a calculator.
With a calculator.
Fuck this traffic.
83,000 people voted in this election, but did not vote for Attorney General. Left Attorney General blank. 83,000 people left it.
Wow.
And it's a difference of 148 votes right now.
Wow.
Those are people that voted. You voted. They voted for somebody else, but when it got to Attorney General, they left it blank. That number is even higher for Superintendent of Public Instruction.
There's a person with a wagon
like 100 and something.
Who looks homeless crossing like right behind me, even though there's a hawk directly in front of me. And even though there are corners there and that's an intersection, that would not be considered an unmarked crosswalk because of how close it is to a marked crosswalk.
I think a lot of people, the teachers here sometimes get a bad rap because
I don't understand why a bitch wouldn't use the hawk.
And you're
There's
just
a hawk
like
right there.
Los Angeles or New York with the unions. Randy Weingarten runs the unions, is demanding things and pushing. It's not the same.
You're making six figures.
Yeah, it's none of that stuff. But I told Gatos this when everything started happening, man. If people feel you mess with their kids,
you're on the wrong side of the road.
She's getting blamed for COVID. She is. Now, is it all her fault? No. Maybe she bears some
People walking like idiots, people driving like idiots,
it's the schools,
people voting like idiots.
Here, it's so different. California, the unions run everything, right?
Yeah.
As goes the unions, so does every school.
So, Chad, doesn't what you're saying, this falls into one of my, mantras I like to do around elections. It's much more important who your local school board.
Oh, absolutely.
Your local legislature, your
100%.
city council board.
Oh, God damn it.
That impact your life.
Every single day.
I'm going to say this nicely. Chris Mays or Abe Hamadeh are probably not going to impact my life.
Not much.
So the problem is people skip and don't pay attention to the ones that really can matter.
Yeah.
I bet you there's plenty of people out there right now that, know more about getting Ron DeSantis's election. They don't live in Florida, than they know about their city council
because that's
person.
sexy.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or the
100%.
school board that's making those decisions about their kids.
When I lived in California,
Facts.
always watch some of these weird things that, like, why are we voting for this or that and the other? There was a thing called CARB in California. California Air Resource Board.
CARB.
The most powerful group of people in California are those people. Put on by your local electors that you have voted for. And let me tell you something. You want to shut something down? That's why you look and you go, okay, who's this person running for city council here? Who's, whether it's Gallego, wherever you are, those people, whether they're rezoning something or whether they're going to add a tax, the impact in your life is immediate.
But it's just not as sexy as you're saying it.
Last I checked, the 202 was gridlock. I would get on it left here.
Spent on those bases.
No.
But those are ones, again, if you're really upset about what's going on at your school, your local school board's a great place to start.
And places
the Secretary of Education in Washington ain't the one.
No,
I say it nicely.
It's not.
That's not affecting your kids' school.
Yeah. And even Tom Horn winning, what is he really going to do? Because the schools and the districts are going to control most of the stuff that's going to go on.
I'm not 100% sure what a Secretary of Education does. I'm not going to lie.
I think they try to set an agenda, but it doesn't mean that's being followed because,
I'm here to suggest things.
Yes.
Okay.
Like for somebody like, Hoffman.
Yeah, freeway all the way here to the hospital where Allison out.
She was trying to, work here, in Phoenix and everywhere she could with all the schools and also work with the governor and people like that.
Yeah. Somebody's using the hawk up here.
I don't think they're going to love with Tom Horn.
They didn't like him last time. I can't imagine. They said they got to change.
Yeah. I don't know what that's going to look like.
I don't know should that be adversarial.
They shouldn't be.
Well, I know you're saying that. I don't know. Should there be some yin and yang? Hey, I'm a taxpayer. I want to know that,
absolutely.
that every dollar is being accounted for.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, too. The way that I think this built up, especially for Hoffman, was the race in Virginia. Was it last year when basically the governor at the time, the guy running for governor came out and said, McAuliffe said, no, parents shouldn't have any say in what goes on in schools. And that just turned into
what became a bumper sticker.
Yeah, 100%. And it'll be interesting. Hey, he's Bruce, the young Bruce, as we like to call him, the mighty Bruce.
Kind of thinking I should have turned left
there. Come on up. I want to talk a little bit about Twitter.
Anyway.
It's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you why.
Twitter. Where was
Because they're whining, moaning, and in about 36 minutes, they have to have an answer to Elon Musk if they're willing to actually work. What? We'll talk about that straight ahead. Let's get us chatting.
Oh, must be rough. Do I work or do I not work? Sitting on ass. Whatever. Gosh, where was I? I was explaining what I did this morning. So anyway, I loaded. It was getting to the point where, like, whenever I find cans and I'm out, like, I just throw them on the floor on the passenger side, and that was like, it was definitely like almost knee deep over there. Like, it was full. And then I've got a recycle bin that I keep by the back door, and that was completely full. And then I had a full box, and I had that all in the front seat. So literally the entire front seat was full, which is crazy because Allison's like, "Oh, sit on the garbage." No, you won't. There's nowhere. There was, like, when she called me, there was literally nowhere to sit in this car. Absolutely nowhere except the driver's seat. There's not even room in the trunk for it. Wow, look at all the southbound traffic. That's nuts. Damn. I'm usually in bed right now. It's been a long time since I've tried to drive at like 5:30 and 5:30 traffic. This is crazy. I mean, I used to drive through afternoon rush traffic all the time when I was a cab driver, but it was never like this. I mean, I drove in this part of town, usually, often. Anyway, yeah. So the plan was I was gonna go to the bank. Oh, look, there's the new Hawk. It's getting ready to change. Interesting video. I should probably link to this about this particular Hawk. So it got delayed apparently due to supply chain issues, and some homeless junkies that live in the park right up ahead on the left got killed trying to cross the street. I don't know if they're trying to cross the street here or at the next block, but anyway, it was largely blamed on the fact that this Hawk didn't get finished on time, as opposed to, oh, I don't know, the fact that they were homeless junkies straggling across the street, or the fact that people drive on the street like freaking idiots. Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't put the Hawk right here where the park is. But anyway, it seemed to me that the crosswalk would be more useful adjacent to the park rather than that next block, but I don't know. There's probably reasons. Maybe there's just, I don't know. Maybe there's more pedestrian traffic there. I made it up to Thomas. So she said she's at the Brazo Heart Hospital at 20th Street in Thomas. I didn't realize they had emergency services there. I thought that was exclusively a heart specialist, like surgery center type place, but apparently that's the emergency room she went to. I wonder what's going on here. What the heck is all that? What weird purple road.
This kind of love. Read what you got. A book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
The end is nigh.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Scripture says we are above all people. We got more talent than they do.
The homeless people sitting on the loitering on the bus stop there seem very amused. All right, excuse me. I got a mile and a half down Thomas. Anyway, game plan when I went out was hit Chase, deposit what little cash I had in my pocket, at Circle K, get my sip and save drink so I wouldn't be thirsty, and go to my storage, crush down, unload my recycling, crush down my recycling since I still had my safety shoes on, and the weather was like nice. It was cool out, but not cold, and go home and call it a day. Well, I ended up going directly to Circle K because why are we stopped? Probably a bus. Damn, I'm like kind of hanging in the intersection, not cool. So anyway, I ended up, I went to Circle K first, went to the one at 40th Street. Because I totally forgot I was going to the bank. I don't know why, I forget stuff, you know. That's just kind of how I'm wired. So I'm headed to Packet Store, and I guess it's just because prior to going out the car, I'm spending all my time unloading loading up my recycling. So I mean, and I sit in the car, and that's all I can see is like the whole passenger side is just full of recycling. Damn, I'm blocking the intersection a little bit. Wow, this is a lot of traffic. I don't think I really have any other options other than just sit through it. And then I can back road up to 20th Street and come south on 20th Street. Although I'm not sure if I can get into the hospital from 20th Street or if I have to enter from Thomas. I like sitting in gridlock traffic like this, though. This sucks. Wow. Route 29 bus behind me had its left blinker on, like it was gonna get out of the right lane and pass. Hello, you got bus stops in the right lane every quarter mile, dude. And of course, now is the time of day that the Route 29 is absolutely incapable of staying on schedule because it gets stuck in this gridlock too, because Phoenix doesn't believe in bus lanes. Because Phoenix hates pedestrians. That's the bottom line on that. If you're a bus rider, you're an afterthought in this city. Oh. Wonder how well my daughter's going to adapt to being a bus rider, because I got a feeling that's what she just became today. I don't see that ending well. So now I get to find out where she's been for the last week. At one point she did kind of wake me up while I was trying to sleep. I just heard some noise, and I looked up and I saw her going into the other bedroom in the hall. I just managed to roll over and go back to sleep. I was kind of surprised that she left out again. Okay, I've had it with this traffic. I don't know if this is going to be a better solution, but I've had it with that traffic. My stomach hurts right now. I don't feel so hot. Oh, and I got a karaoke show tonight. I'm just so not in a good place right now. Let's see. Wow. A surprising amount of people trying to back road it through here with their headlights on. Not sure what street this is. I don't feel like I'm all the way up to Earl yet. Penshot. Or is it Penshot? I'm not sure. I've always heard it referred to as Penshot. Got a new China buffet on the left, which looks suspiciously like an old Pizza Hut. Wonder how Allison would have reacted if I just told her to take the bus. Got any left turn options before Osborne? I'm on Flower. Wow, those apartments on the left are gated now. They didn't used to be. And they used to be very affordable. I can imagine now they're probably about $1,200 to $1,500 a month, because apartments are ridiculously expensive in Phoenix everywhere. Anyway, yeah, so I got in the car, completely forgot I needed to go to the bank. But I was thinking about Circle K, because I've got this thing where I can maybe get up to $1.50 back if I spend money with my debit card at Circle K. So yay, let's spend money at Circle K. Now, granted, I'm going to get my Sip and Save drink, which should have been free. Well, that ends up not happening because the soda fountain at 40th Street in McDowell completely shut down. They got like yellow tape around it, completely shut down. I don't know why the hell that stupid store can't maintain its goddamn soda fountain. It's tragic. You know, I was thinking in my head that the surface street, or that the back road options weren't good going through here, and so far they've not been good. Well, there's two street light poles there. That's bizarre. One has a street light head on it, and the other one doesn't. But they're both still standing. Odd. I'm not sure what street I'm on now. I'm thinking it's Earl. I can't read that sign. Earl. Okay, I know where I'm at. Yeah, this area is a little tricky because there's the canal. The Grand Canal goes through here, and of course no side streets really cross the canal. I've done quite a few videos like walking around this area, but most of the time it's been kind of dark when I've done it. But I think if I come up here, there's a side street that goes to the left, which will get me to 20th Street without having to go all the way up to Osborne. Yeah, here it is. Monterey. And I made it to 20th Street, yay. So anyway, well, I'm practically to the hospital. I better spit my story out. I'm gonna spit my story out. See, I went to Circle K, didn't get a sip and save drink because their damn soda fountain was all shut off. I cannot believe there's this much traffic on 20th Street. God, it used to be I'd come to 20th Street because there was absolutely no traffic on it. And there's so much shrubbery adjacent to the sidewalk that I got to practically block the bike lane just to see oncoming traffic from the south. Grr. But they had a posted special, two 12-packs Mountain Dew for $10, which seemed like a pretty good deal. Of course, I found out later it was kind of a crappy deal compared to what I could have got had I waited like another half hour to get my soda. But it was this guy's completely blocking the crosswalk. Wow, this traffic is awful. Right by Urbandale Park. It's kind of where this vlog started. Urbandale Park on the right now. Actually, I think my first video that I shot was in front of Old Brass Rail Bar. But for a while, I was kind of doing daily vlog updates at Urbandale Park. I was on the edge of I felt like I was on the edge of a mental breakdown. Kind of feel like that now. Wow, I didn't envision this being this bad. I never drive at this time. I'm usually asleep right now. After the way I hung up on Allison, no, I highly doubt she'll call me back, although she might leave, but not wait for me as well. Well, that was annoying. My alarm just went off and it cut off my video. I hate how iOS does that. Like, my God, if you're actively shooting video, is that necessary? Can't you just have a pop-up message that says, hey, this is time for your alarm, and not fuck up the video? Times like that, I don't like iOS. Alright, there's a hospital on the right. Doesn't appear to be an entrance on 20th Street. I'd have probably been ahead to just stay on freaking Thomas Road. I thought there was an entrance on 20th Street. I've never been into this hospital. Anyway, I'm here. Oh, long story short, I end up going to the grocery store, getting cottage cheese, which of course can't go with me to the storage, so I end up going home and not making it to storage. So I had to go empty my recycling. Anyway, find out what kind of stupid shit my daughter did.